Hello again to the closing words, to an outlook, and the invitation to open mic. So hello, beautiful people, respected venerables and siblings. As I said, it's not only the closing words for the Second International Queer Buddhist Conference, IQBC, but also an outlook what can be possible. Because I was already asked by people who would have liked to contribute to the third IQBC before the second had been organized. This is also an invitation to the open mic on gather.town, and our beautiful star Identity. Some of you already know them by Instagram, Spotify, or through their own website, Identity Bits. They agreed to share their new song on the virtual stage. You have to come. It will be interesting because we will be able to listen to them, but your comments of appreciation you have to put in the chat, because on stage the mic is open, but not for the audience. That's a challenge, I know. So after that, let's go and meet in gather.town. Well, the second IQBC is over, but I want to thank you all, but especially our keynote speaker, Dr. Pema Düdel, and their inspiring words about visibility and representation and helping when the schedule had to be changed. Thank you for being here from Australia in spite of these global different time zones. I would like to thank each of the contributors, the amazing talks about role models from Cody Muncaster and Venerable Tashi Chidru, the presenters of the talks of the second panel, Kyle Neo, Venerable Vimala, and Brother Bao. It wasn't long not clear if Brother can attend live or if he will be in a time zone where it's not possible, but it was. We were lucky. I also want to thank each of the workshop contributors especially of the difficult trauma topic, which can be so triggering that we, just in case, if difficulties could have arisen, provided helplines around the globe. Thanks here for helping with all the help sites to Liza O'Connor and Brother Yönten. Thanks to Zoe Flowers, Jim Mike Asinto, Stevie Ingram, Noon Baldwin, James Young, Elias Van Dede, Jeff Beckman. You always leaded us safely through any disturbance with compassion and kindness and this focus of self-care, which most of us forget in triggering times especially. Thank you for that. And thank you, Blair Perryman and James Young, for the insight in the necessity and importance of pronouns and the journey one has with pronouns. I'm thinking here of my own journey, because last year on the first IQBC, my pronouns were she and her. And I had no doubt. But I also hadn't thought much about pronouns. Then I founded the IQBCs, and we had the first conference, and the journey had begun. Meanwhile, from she, they changed to they, them. The journey as I quote on one of my pictures, will be endless, I think. But there was this meditation, the meditation of Jeff Peckman, a meditation for all the senses. It was about colors, but you could not only see the colors, but smell and taste. And so somehow feel them. A fireworks of synesthesia. Thank you for being part of the second IQBC. And the meditation went on with a singing meditation from Susanne Theringer, who gave a beautiful meditative introduction into sound. She also accompanied that with a ukulele. And this leads us to the exhibitions, especially from Noire Brandy Lossard and her meditative sketches. Always amazing to see on Instagram how these sketches come into existence, change, and then are finished with different pencils, sometimes black and white, sometimes in color, always exciting. And the digital art from Elias van Dette, the bodies, these beautiful bodies, no matter which gender they are, you never know. It's always a beautiful experience, exciting, and by the open-mindedness, you feel inspired by the beauty of the bodies. But that's not all. We had written poems by Colin James, the book of Kodo Nishimura, who shared it for the second IQBC, but unhappily couldn't attend because his own schedule is so tight. Then we got films from the so-called Schwulenmuseum, Gay Museum in Berlin, Germany. A beautiful film of Tomasz Niszewicz about embracing the rainbow of queerness. And I'm grateful that he, short before his death, was so kind to share this film for the IQBC. And he was additionally so kind to give me the rights for some of his arts too. Thank you, Tomasz. Then we got a meditative film from Isolda Trachtenberg you can enjoy on gather.town. And last but not least, I was so blessed to get the yes from Sikaya Cheeks, the best director, with sharing her film, A Warm Touch is All I Need. Oh yes, so true, especially in pandemic times. Thank you, Sikaya, for your inspiring work. Hope many more films will come. And thank you all for being part of this second International Queer Buddhist Conference. In the next days, you will get an email with questions to give a feedback, and maybe you already have an idea for the next IQBC, who knows. There also will be, again, conscious connections to stay in touch with the possibility to try out in a smaller event what could be done later on the third conference. And yes, especially it will be about arts again on the conscious connections. Now, dear siblings, I invite you to close your video here and your audio, open your gather.town link, or jump into the window to the Welcome IQBC, and let's meet at the performance for identity. And if one or the other likes to perform too, playing guitar, sharing a poem you have written, or play the lyra or the ukulele, or maybe one of the Dharma rap contributors or attendees, it will be very interesting. Here on Zoom, the session is done. So goodbye and see you on gather.town.